Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix of 2022 career mode. Today we're here for the opening round of the second series here at Bahrain. If you missed the opening episode that was uploaded on Tuesday, the pre-season episode that have all the driver lineups, names, liveries, etc., I recommend go and check that out before watching this episode. But coming into this one then, Sergio Perez says it's an honour to be able to drive for Red Bull. Hopefully that he'll be able to get a consistent scoring streak going. Perez of course comes in for Nico Hülkenberg, had a terrible season compared to Max Verstappen, scoring only a fraction of the points he did on the other side of the garage. And also still going on is the bickering over the tyres. Because of course McLaren are happy with the new tyres. It means that they can now, of course, they have the pace to be able to start to qualify in the top 10 on mediums, and also because, you know, compared to the likes of Alpine, who of course are a lower ranked seed, who would do a one less stop than those other teams, they now pretty much are on the same level, and so aren't able to make such a bigger gain as they would usually do. But as you know, we never say never in Formula 1. Alpine, of course, could become winners this season. Of course, they did win 2 races in season 1. But as business as usual at the front of the grid, because it's Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, although Verstappen takes his first pole in this series. George Russell starts down in third, a typical starting place for him in this series. Lando Norris, his best qualifying position for a while, he starts up in P4. Daniel Ricciardo, he's up in P5. McLaren looking to continue their good run of form. Sergio Perez, debut for Red Bull, starts down in 6th. Carlos Sainz, he'll start on the soft tyre in 7th place. That's definitely going to be interesting. I start ahead of the best of the rest in P8. Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, the other 2 drivers to get into Q3, both of them will start on the soft tyre and off the pace, although Alonso wasn't that far behind me, so again, just adjusting the AI. Outside the top 10, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly complete an all French row at row 6. Giovinazzi, in his return to F1, outqualifies Leclerc, was complaining of electrical fault throughout Q2, which is why he's down in only 14th, so a good drive for him. Yuki Tsunoda starts 15th, disappointing for him, ahead of Alex Albon, eliminated in Q1. He starts up in 16th. Oscar Piastri starts 17th in his debut in F1 for Williams, alongside Mick Schumacher, his pace hasn't improved from season 1. And on the back row is Lance Stroll, not sure what happened to him, and Valtteri Bottas on his return to F1 as well. Now it's time for the race. So here we are at Bahrain, and a track that's good for me, of course. In season 1 of this series, we narrowly missed out on a podium here, unfortunately, after I made a mistake and gave Nico Hülkenberg his first podium. Little did you know that Hülkenberg would only go on to score 2 podiums, as much as Alex Albon managed in that series. But of course, we'll see what happens. Of course, that we expect Leclerc to come through the field from that lowly 15th place, so it's definitely going to be interesting. We're going to start on the medium tyres, which is good for us, because, you know, we know that the tyre wear is still high in this series. So yes, one little bit of a glitch that was annoying was the AI were only doing 1 run, and I now understand why they only do 1 run. It's because of the tyre allocations. They don't have enough soft tyres basically, and they need those soft tyres because of the wear there, just in case they need that extra set of soft tyres for that. So that's the reason why the allocation of tyres is why they're only doing 1 run, which means they have a fresh set of sauce for the race, which I don't actually have a fresh set of sauce for this race, which is why we're going 2 sets of mediums and a set of hards. It's a little bit conservative strategy, but we should be able to hopefully make it work. So 5 red lights then for season 2, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lights are out the way we go, and it's a good start, a poor start by both McLarens and Sainz there. as well. We're going to nip it down to the inside. Got to be cautious not to lose a front wing as well. Hit a little bit the curbing there, loses our momentum. The Alpine will come back as we try to come back at Lando Norris as well. But we're unable to get him around the outside. As we look at a replay, as the two Mercedes and reigning world champion Max Verstappen go 3 wide, and coming out in the lead of that is George Russell, the man who came second and won the previous race at Brazil in season 1. As we're watching Leclerc, who's struggling at the start. Surprisingly, the rest of outside the top 10 all started on soft tyres. So soft tyre seems to be a way of purchase, but in the opening laps, not a lot happened. The two Alpines just kept squabbling, to be honest. As I said, I'm still yet to find the perfect balance, the ALI level. It is on 105 for this race, so we may just end up on 110 at that point. At some point, so a lot higher than it is in driver career mode as well. 2.7 second stop hards will come on. We're going to come out in P8 where we were, but we've sort of lost time to the top 7, to be honest. And behind us, while we were coming out of the pits, this move was happening. Charles Leclerc was finally woken up after the pits. I suspect Ferrari managed to slip him through an undercut strategy potentially, but he's on the mediums and he's making good use of those mediums, trying to go around the outside of Fernando Alonso. But Alonso does very well to keep that Ferrari behind him. As we look at the front, as Verstappen is going side by side, as where they did in real life, with Hamilton, and Verstappen, though, unlike in real life, keeps it on the track and takes P2 away from Hamilton. As we're watching back on board with Leclerc, the following lap, Leclerc is able to get half the DRS and it goes round the outside, turn the inside for turn 2, and Leclerc is able to get in front of the Alpines. They're not too far behind. But watching Hamilton, everyone's done a weird strategy. They've gone, those medium runners started on, went to softs and now finish on hards. A little bit weird, that strategy, but that's the way it is. But now being joined by Leclerc, we are doing a little bit of weaving as well in the trying to break the slipstream there off Leclerc, and we force him out of turn 1 through into turn 2. Doesn't give us DRS unfortunately, so we're going to have to do a little bit of more weaving, but it's easier to defend up to turn 4. It's the main straight that you have to watch out for. And of course this back little straight on the approach, the AI always get a better run out of me into that corner. We have to go a little bit wider there. Not an ideal exit out of the final corner, but Leclerc hits, which is fortunate for us. And that's going to move us actually up into P2 as Verstappen comes out of the pits. He does retain his position ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And at this point, I decided on lap 18 that the tyre wear wasn't that bad. It's only 30%. We have been on these tyres for 9 laps so far. We've got another 11 to go, and I decided that we might as well risk it as well and try and go to the end of the race as well. We don't, as I say, I don't really want to have to pay. As I say, it was a bit unfortunate, otherwise I probably would have extended this stint and gone to softs, to be honest, but we didn't have that available as we blocked out Verstappen, and now Hamilton is going to get back in front of Verstappen, so we've helped Mercedes out as well in their chrome livery, a little bit darker than I'd like. I'm not under the lights, but I'm sure that will come, hopefully look a little bit better in the future races. But jump to lap 19, we force Hamilton out of the final corner. I need to watch our ERS uses as well, because of course it is the default ERS as well. It's not the driver career mode DRS, and of course it is going to drain away like there's no tomorrow. Hamilton comes for the outside on lap 20, being able to keep that position moving, and while we were defending from Hamilton, Max Verstappen is able to get back in front of Hamilton. So Hamilton too busy attacking me not to watch what's happening behind, so it's Verstappen now who's coming behind us as Verstappen has to go down the inside He's going to give his DRS with his wheel banging going on as well. He's going to give his DRS. We're going to use what left of DRS. We haven't got a lot left, but look at Hamilton go on that inside. He swoops to the defending inside line. We're going to try it around the outside. Can we make this move work? He's going to give us space on the inside. Hamilton. We're going to have DRS. Yes, what a move! We were down and out. It's not over yet. Hamilton will come back even without DRS for Verstappen, and we're going to squeeze in. I think there might have been a little bit of contact. Something's happened to Hamilton there as well, but that was great racing going 3 wide between myself, Hamilton and Verstappen. On board with Hamilton there. I thought initially watching this he got a puncture, but I think he's just got some damage and has given up. He doesn't want to race this anymore, so he's out the race. And, well, the resulting means that the 2 McLarens are now come into play. Ricciardo has a dive. There's a go 3 wide. Ricciardo hits the curb. And subsequently Perez tries to get involved, but Perez loses out to Ricciardo as well. Unfortunately, one of those 4, the 2 Red Bulls and the 2 McLaren quartets, one of them is out, and that's Lando Norris, who's pulling over the side, and Lando is unfortunately out with an engine failure. And there is Ricciardo in front of Verstappen as well. So Ricciardo is now in front of Verstappen in the sort of Marlboro 80 style McLaren livery that we've got on this series. So Ricciardo now is really starting. The tyres start to scream 50% on the front left. That's the one we're going to be watching 51% as we go through turn 1 and 2. Ricciardo did have a go at us on at turn 1, but that's going to, of course, he's given us DRS, which means it's going to give, he's not going to have DRS, and it's going to give able Verstappen to go round the outside into turn 4 and get back in front of Ricciardo. But now Verstappen goes through on myself with DRS. Ricciardo goes through. I don't think we're going to be able to defend against, but get back in front of these. We're going to go around the outside of Ricciardo, but there is Verstappen gone. We're going to have DRS. Can we see if we can get by? We're going to use what left. We've got a VRS again. Which is not a lot, unfortunately. I'm able to get past Verstappen's retained in front, and we've lost P2 now. As well as Ricciardo now has a go around the outside, in the inside of the final corner, not giving us ideal preparation. We are going to have DRS with this final straight, but it's not going to do as Verstappen sets a new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, showing what pace he had. We're going to lift off DRS. We're going to the inside. Perez there comes up the inside. Oh, they've got made contact with Perez and Ricciardo, and I think they might both be out the race. The safety car has been deployed. Perez went up the middle here, had the overspeed from the double. We got squeezed between myself and Ricciardo. That's just really a racing incident for me. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. So here's a replay off board. I just tried, as I said, came to the little bit to the left, excuse me, to take the racing line. On board with Ricciardo. Did Ricciardo give enough space? Could he don't know if he could give it a little bit more. He might have been able to try to switch back. Maybe would have been the better for Ricciardo. But anyway, I'm not going to try and defend against Sainz on these terrible mediums as well. Especially the fact we know that Leclerc is also going to catch up as well, so the 2 Ferraris will probably sail past. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to come in for a set of used soft tyres for 2 laps to go. Not only that, we should be able to catch up back up to the 2 Ferraris, the 2 Alpines, bickering, as we've also got floor damage from going over the curve, so that isn't going to help either. The 2 Alpines are just there, so one of them should be able to catch up to the back of this train. But Russell, of course, didn't want this safety car because he was way out in front, enjoying life at the front of the race. He has got Valtteri Bottas in the Maserati Andretti car in between him and Verstappen, so Bottas unfortunately will be finish this race a lap down. No points for him, but that car of course has improvements to come, obviously. So we're behind the 2 Ferraris. One of the Alpines are just catching up to us now as well. Can we get in front of one of the Ferraris? We're going to have the slipstream. It's a poor restart by Leclerc as well. We're going to Bottas moves to the right hand side as we're going to so close between myself and Leclerc and Bottas. A fine line, but we keep our footing and are able to dive down the inside of Leclerc and move up into P4, and that is definitely a nice little move there. But obviously that was it. The floor damage really not helping me out here. To be fair, the two Alpine do have some pace, I'm not going to lie, but not a lot of pace, not compared to the top 4 teams, but compared to where we are, they seem to be the best of the midfield. But for us, it's P4 at Bahrain. It's not slightly disappointing it wasn't a podium in the end, but we didn't really have a lot of pace. Leclerc really lost out on his strategy, because I think he obviously got stuck behind, so a lot of the drivers set their fastest times in the opening round. It is points though for Ocon and Alonso, so Alpine do get the points, and Giovinazzi as well. Very good job from the other side of the garage. It's a double point score for the team. Gasly and Vettel miss out on any points as well. Sonoda and Stroll. Stroll didn't catch up in the end, as did Albon. A lot of work to be done by both Williams and Maserati Andretti in terms of their car performance as well, but they will of course get the biggest allocation of tokens, which the reset for that comes in when we get to episode 4 I think it's Imola episode 4 as well. McLaren will be desperately disappointing that they didn't manage to get Lewis Hamilton as well, also retired. Drivers' standings though, same as the race results. We'll just quickly look over the constructors' standings, where Mercedes are ahead of Ferrari by 1 point, ahead of Red Bull by 1 point. McLaren on no points. We'll expect them to come back hopefully in the next episode, the United States Grand Prix as well. For us, P4, battling Alpine. That seems to be where we are. Hopefully Giovinazzi can make that little bit step up. He did finish in P8, so he did finish ahead of the AlphaTauris and the Aston Martin. So there is a little bit of a positivity from that. But he has got a little bit of work to do as well. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe channel, and you'll see plenty more F1 Project Phoenix videos of this 2022 season as when they come out. Until the next video, then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.